What's up guys, it's Drac, and I am so excited to give you a review of the Dart Zone Max Outlaw. We go back and forth as a hobby in terms of like, how do we get a half-length revolver? And I think this might be the answer. So first off, this really sharp new metallic packaging on the inside, very spicy, but something's missing. Over here, it's got hammer action loading mechanism, integrated tactical sights, comes with max eyewear gear. I think that's a big plus in a lot of these pro-grade blasters, featuring the target darts, the max darts, whatever you want to call these darts. Has a safety, so you know the power is going to be pretty decent. Trigger, and then an auto advance half-length dart cylinder. Now I remember back when Dart Zone launched the Deuce, I was super duper stoked because we finally had what I thought would be a half-length revolver, but what it really was, for being completely honest with ourselves, is it was a half-length breech loading blaster that just loaded from a cylindrical style clip almost, where you were priming and loading the dart into a barrel off of a cylindrical clip. I mean, realistically, you were pushing the dart off and into the barrel. So you were still breech loading. It wasn't one-hand wieldable for that reason. And this changes all of that completely because it does this. First off, the cylinder pops out and you can see that there is no breech pusher inside here. It's pretty exciting how that's gonna work. So my favorite thing is when you pull the trigger, you get a view into how this is going to create a breech. So the breech actually is a combination of the cylinder having these beveled edges and then the back of the cylinder fitting into this rubber gasket on the back of the blaster. So when you pull the trigger, step one is the barrel pushes back to create a seal, and then step two is it fires, obviously. So I think this is so cool because what it's gonna let us do is you could fan fire if you were so inclined, but realistically, you can snap this bad boy in and it is truly one-hand wieldable. And it's gonna take a second to get used to because they've given us a pretty hefty all metal. This appears to be cast, like a die-cast metal hammer on the back there. Lots of purchase, lots of grip on that. It's got really good texturing to it, but it's a long travel. So I wear size large gloves. I can prime the blaster without moving my hand from the trigger system. Safety is on this side, so if you happen to be correct-handed, you could have it safe in hypothetically a holster, pull out, your finger would be right where you need it to click F for fire. You could come here with your thumb to prime and pop. Now, the pull gets a little heavier as you kind of work your way through it. It's much easier to when it's already been primed. That's not doing anything but rotating the cylinder. The cylinder rotates in the last centimeter or so of the prime. But as far as the pistol itself goes, this thing is a dream. Super spinnable, great balance. The metal on the hammer actually makes it spin better. It's got a sci-fi cowboy aesthetic, right? It's a revolver. It's got this sharp line, almost feels Destiny hand cannon adjacent, I suppose. Coloring is pretty good. It's got this whitish, it's gray, but it's definitely much brighter than your usual like pro plastic. Obviously, red and gray, pretty sweet color combination. Only the best use the Halloween color scheme, but underneath here, we have this rail, although the rail has no indices in it. Maybe that's an opportunity for us to whip something up over on Foam Pro Shop. Barrel seems to be polished, solid aluminum barrel, so you've got a consistent extrusion there. Grip is really comfortable, knurling on the plastic, a little bit of light checkering to give you plenty of grip. Maybe we make a leather grip for this guy, I don't know, but overall, just the Wild West action is just so crisp, so spicy. Blaster itself is gonna come with 2 cylinders, a thing of eyewear, and 12 darts. That's everything that you need to get started. And all that for 30 bucks is pretty intense when you consider that you get a pistol that's gonna perform better than a primary from various competitors in the space for 30 bucks. I am so excited to take this outside and put it over the chronograph. Let's see what we're shooting. We'll put some half-length max darts over the old numbers machine and see where we're at. All right, guys, so it's a little windy and a little hot out here for gunslinging. I've got my ferocious beast in my Ranger loadout here, but let's take our hand cannon in the form of this Dart Zone Max Outlaw. Let's put it over the chronograph. Let's see what this thing is delivering fresh out of the package. So these are fresh darts, fresh cylinders, fresh blaster. Smells like over 100 FPS. Smells like I should have loaded the cylinder with more than one dart. So dry fire safe. And 123 is not bad. So these cylinders pop in and out. They've got a semi-compliant mechanism in there on this end, and then over here, the rotation mech actually depresses in a little bit to meet this. This also moves just a smidge, kind of making the entire system jive. But because of that, you kind of want to grab both ends, click, snap in, and then let's put a few more over. This is a full cylinder, because I loaded the one I could see. Am I not going directly over the chronograph? There we are. So that's 115, 118, 114, 115, and empty. So I'm gonna load this up and we'll do some downrange. So one of my favorite features on this is that I haven't been able to, with the exception of it's got, you know, good enough ratcheting for this. The auto alignment's actually pretty good. If I take it off-centered, it jiggles into place. But one thing that's nice is each prime is a single rotation. However, this one has been sprung or calibrated. I am not skipping any darts in this cylinder. It's kind of crazy that the one that was effectively breech load had a bad habit of skipping darts, so much so that when we developed our kit, we had to make a different cylinder to prevent that feature. These, just factory, seem to be doing an excellent job of articulating one per pull, so you can reliably count to 6. No dirty, hairy nonsense here. So it stinks because I think you can kind of tell from the background here that the wind is pushing towards us. However, with just at, you know, HVZ perfect end war performance, hitting in about 115 to 120, this should be a great anti-zombie, kind of one-hand wieldable sort of sidearm hand cannon-esque thing. I mean, it is really, really cool. Now, I've heard whispers and rumors of taking it down a notch with a lighter spring load. Maybe that'll be available in the future from Dart Zone. But as it ships, it is a very spinnable, very cowboy sci-fi kind of sidearm. It definitely has those vibes to it, and it really satisfies everything that I wanted the hammer shot to be. Like, what would a pro hammer shot do? The answer is more or less this kind of feature-rich assembly. As far as its accuracy goes, you know, it's pretty good, pretty close. You'd definitely be able to tag zombies 20, 25 feet away, and anything closer than that, you'd be able to tag them with anything. But I think that especially after you've loaded and primed and holstered this bad boy, I think that it'd be rip, ride, and ready for some rootin' tootin' foam flinging action. I love this. I think that the ability to create a true revolver with the barrel creating the breech here is very clever, very novel, and I'm a big fan of that level of innovation. There's a huge difference between the Deuce and the Outlaw, getting you up to that, you know, I mean, better ingredients, better pizza, Dart Zone Max. Huge fan. The only thing that I need is I need a second one. I need a second one so that I can dual wield them, and then maybe I need 5 more so that I can Blackbeard it before old Captain Xavier gets to it. These are pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I think well done, and at a $30 price point, it's very reasonable to pick up a second one for some akimbo action. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of this. Will you be picking one up? $30, I think that they're pretty tough to beat, but you know, you have to be in the market for a veritable hand cannon in such an incredibly compact package. I mean, this thing is less than a foot long. It's pretty serious. Thanks so much for watching. Comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss updates on the latest and greatest blasters from your favorite companies and my hot takes on them. But anyway, that's the Outlaw. Thanks so much for watching. Much love, blast on, Drac out.